Welcome to the Pool Nation podcast, where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. We talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. Now let's welcome your host, with over a decade of industry insider experience and still the reigning champion of Marco Polo, Edgar De Jesus, and his co-host, John JJ Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and Zach the Pool Boy Nicholas.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pool Nation Live podcast with myself, your host, Edgar De Jesus. And yes, I am the reigning champion of Marco Polo, along with John JJ Flawless, the fastest knitter in the West, and the famous Zach, the Pool Boy Nicholas. In this episode, we talk to Chad Christensen, Vice President of Wholesale at Leslie's, and we talk about his journey into the pool industry, and we talk about Leslie's Pro Program. I want to welcome everyone to our live podcast, the podcast where it's all pool talk, and we ain't talking about netting and jetting and splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. And yes, we will talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. But before we get started today, I want to thank our sponsors for this podcast, Ultimate Pool Tools, the SPPA, poolinvoice.com, and BlueRay XL. We want to thank them for their continued support. John, good morning.
I'm already having issues with the mic, right? I'm hitting mute, unmute, mute, unmute, mute, and it's not working. Good morning. Wow. You know, you get into like a little bit of a rhythm where we're used to a certain time, a certain day, right, for our podcast. And then we throw a little change and things just go crazy. But I'm excited to be here. Chad and Leslie's. And I've said this 1,000 times, and I'm going to say it again. I truly think that Leslie's jumping into the wholesale business portion of it is probably one of the better things that can happen to us in the industry, because it creates something called competition. And when you create competition and more options, then us as pool pros, we have, prices become more competitive, availability, more options as far as places where you can go to purchase your items. Like for me, for instance, we do most of our shopping at SEP. We do a little bit of PEP, and I do work on Sundays. And I know there's a lot of pool guys out there that work on Sundays. The only place in the world that you can go to that's going to have your back on a Sunday is Leslie's. So they're my favorite spot on Sundays where I go and I'm slowly building my relationship with Leslie's and their Pool Pro program that they have. And I'm excited to hear more about what they have to offer and what they have as far as plans in the future, because like I said before, I think it's going to be a great addition to the pool industry, especially for us on the service side.
The other thing, John, that I love is I remember the beginnings when you're out Friday afternoon and you're like, hey, I'm going to go clean this filter at 5 o'clock on Friday. You open up that filter and you got no grids. They're trash. And then you're like, oh, man, what am I doing now? Now I got to wait till Monday. How do you tell the customer, that pool ain't working until Monday? Right. So I think it's beautiful. I love that Leslie's is coming in here. I think they could be a disruptor into the industry. And we'll talk about some of the details, I think, especially with the footprints and stuff like that. It's a great addition to our industry.
And if I could say one more.
Chad, good morning. Go ahead,
I want to say one more thing. And I know I said on the wholesale portion of it how important it is for us as pool service individuals or business owners, not only to be able to supply or to be able to, to get parts or equipment, but most importantly, and I think this is something that there's a lot of guys and girls out there that are running their businesses don't truly take advantage of this. And we use it as a template for our pricing. So Leslie's is the biggest retail supplier in the country. So when they sell products and whatever their retail pricing is as an individual, myself, when I sell as a small business owner in a smaller company, obviously much smaller than Leslie's, if I'm able to meet whatever the biggest retailer in the swimming pool industry is able to sell the product at, then I'm on the same level when it comes down to pricing. I talk to a lot of people every single day, and people always tell me, John, what do we sell this for? John, what do you sell your pumps at? Or, hey, what do you sell your filters at? Or, hey, cartridges. And my first reply is this, and I tell everybody, hey, go to Leslie's website and figure out what they sell it for. Whenever they sell it for, you need to sell it for. And that's how you're going to do your pricing. And I think a lot of people, undercut themselves, that they're not getting the margins that they need to in order to be able to become a profitable business and to become sustainable. So that's another portion I think Leslie's does for us that a lot of other wholesalers don't, because they don't really offer retail pricing and they don't give us that visibility of what to offer. And before, we really only had what people buy on Amazon or what you might find from another website. But I strictly depend on Leslie's when I do my pricing. I just check and say, hey, Leslie sells it at this, I'm going to sell it that. So I just wanted to throw that into there too, in case for the people that are listening, just another way that they can help better their business.
Chad is probably sitting there. We started the podcast. We haven't even gotten to the intro. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, do I get to say hello yet?
Yeah.
Is it now the time I can jump in?
Keep talking.
All right. I like to just observe. Apparently, like you're going to have me on, just observe, just let you guys go.
We're going to talk about the whole Leslie program. So sorry about that, Chad. Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, good morning. It's a pleasure to be on the podcast. Looking forward to it. I do have one question as we get started. John, you said you were the fastest netter in the West.
Well, that title was given to me. But I will proudly own that because I'm pretty quick with my net, especially with my ultimate pull.
Fair. Well, for me being relatively new into the industry, I think what I'm going to have to do is, if you'll take me during the summer, I'll come out and ride with you and I'll learn from the best, because I don't think I can stay in the industry if I can't be a good netter.
Let's do it.
I've got to learn from the best. We'll do that this summer, and I'll improve my skills so I can be accepted as a netter in the industry.
Anytime, my friend, anytime.
I love it. Guys, before we get started, there's a couple things I want to talk about. We want to talk about really quick the Western Pool Show in Long Beach, and that's going to be on the 10th, 11th, and 12th. For more information, you could go to www.westernshow.com, or you could go to poolnation.com. John and I are going to be there. We're going to be teaching 4 classes, adding values to your business with branding, and also another class, which is understanding business metrics, financials, and your cost of service. So check it out. Go to the website, register, sign up to be able to take the classes. We'll be out there. We'll have a booth out on the floor as well. And we're hoping to be able to meet a lot of you guys. That was my old stomping ground. So I'm looking to get back out there and meet up with some people. The other thing that I want to talk about is the peer-to-peer meeting, and that one is coming up this coming Sunday. And we are going to be talking about HR, all HR. We're going to have an HR professional come on. So what you could do is bring all your questions, and there's no question that you cannot ask. So whether it's hiring, firing, whether it's how to interview, whatever it is, all questions asked. So if you are not part of the peer-to-peer program, go to poolnation.com. You'll be able to see a link there. Click there, register, and you can participate in that. The other thing is we've partnered with the Western Pool and Spa Show and Hayward Pool Products to bring the first Pool Nation Pool Build and Pool Builder Awards of 2022. We want to thank Eric at the Western Pool and Spa Show, and we want to thank Hayward for partnering with us to bring those awards. So you guys have been amazing partners. We're looking forward to it. We'll do a live at the show to announce the winners. John, I'm thinking that what you need to do is you need to come out here, because anybody that wins from out here, we could literally just jump in the car and go take the awards to them. Maybe I could give you the ones from California and you go drive them to the...
I'm down. You know it. Let's do it.
So we'll figure it out. Chad, before we get started, I do have to thank you guys for sponsoring the Pool Nation Awards, because you guys jumped in and you guys were huge sponsors of the awards, and we really appreciate you guys stepping up and believing us. And it was a great evening, and it was great having you guys there with us.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure for us to be a part of it. It was a great evening. It was fun getting to see the awards as they were given out, the winners that were there. And as I mentioned to you at the award show, we look forward to taking part in this in years to come. It's a great thing for all the pool trade professionals, and it was a lot of fun.
That's great. We were already talking yesterday about how we're going to step it up for next year. So we got some stuff.
Got to go bigger, right? Every year you keep got to go bigger.
John's going to do some dancing and some comedy. We got it all figured out. So
wow. So. If we want it to be the last one, I guess I can do that.
So, Chad, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you ended up in the pool industry?
Yeah, so I've been with Leslie's for just over 5 years. Prior to Leslie's, I worked in the medical device industry. So as far away from pools as you possibly could get, but it was in the aesthetic division. So really focusing in on patients that wanted to look better, get rid of wrinkles, get rid of lines. They wanted to look better, feel good about themselves. And that was the industry I spent most of my time in. But having lived most of my life in Phoenix, I was always very familiar with Leslie's as a company. Out here in Phoenix, it feels like there's a store on about every corner in the city. So everybody here is very familiar with Leslie's. And I had known a number of individuals that worked at the company that had great things to say about the company. And where I was at in my career when the opportunity presented itself and I was approached, it was a great fit, and was really excited. At the end of the day, working in pools is a fun thing. And when there's a nice blue, sparkling body of water out back, kids want to jump in it. People want to go relax by it. It puts a smile on people's faces. Now, I don't know about the pool trade professionals the day after, a big storm. They're probably not having that smile, but once they get done cleaning it, their homeowners or their individuals they're taking care of, they're looking out there with a smile on their face. And so what they're doing is really making everybody feel better. And I think that was a nice parlay from what I was doing before to get into this industry. And it's been a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Awesome. What is your current role at Leslie's, and can you explain kind of what it entails?
Yeah, so I'm the vice president of Leslie's Pro Wholesale Division. When I first started with Leslie's, I was on the commercial side, but I was on as what we call it, the core side, which is the sales to the hotels, motels, apartment complexes. And so I did that for roughly about 4 years. And then almost a year ago, moved into the wholesale side of the business. So with the focus on the pool trade professional, the individuals that have a weekly pool service route that are really utilizing our network of stores and how we can partner with them and grow that section of the business.
Can you give us a little bit of background on Leslie's?
Well, amazingly enough, it's and John, I think you said it earlier, Leslie's is the largest pool retailer in the United States, but it still has a feel of, and I don't know how many times, this happens all the time where somebody will go, "Oh, you guys aren't the local store? You guys are outside of Arizona? You're outside of Texas? You have stores?" But Leslie's as a whole got started in 1963. It was outside of North Hollywood, California, about a 350-foot building. Phil Leslie and his partner started it. And it's almost, 60 years closing in on. And to see the growth from one 350-foot store to over 900 retail stores across the country has been absolutely phenomenal. And what it speaks to, in my opinion, is this is somebody that started a business because they saw a need. They wanted the service pool, wanted the service pools, wanted the service homeowners that had pools, pool trade professionals that were working on pools. And it started from one small building and has grown this much. And I think that growth and that commitment to wanting to be able to provide the customer with a great experience with the items and the products that they need really speaks volumes to how this growth was able to be accomplished.
So
900 stores is a lot.
Well, it is a ton of stores,
Absolutely.
especially for pools, right? If you think about it, you figure you have an electronics store, they might have a couple thousand, but every single home has some sort of electronic, right? Every business has electronics. Not every home has a pool. So to have that many stores, that's a huge footprint to have across the nation for sure. And to tag on to what you were saying, and goes on to my next question, Leslie's for years has been known as a store for the homeowners to go to and not necessarily the pool pro. That's the message you guys were trying to drive, but that was just the stereotype of it. What made Leslie's decide to market more towards the pool pro and not only the retail customer?
It's a great observation, John, because I think Leslie's originally started, it was more for the home. And obviously there was pool trade professionals that would stop in, that would buy, there was maybe pool builders that would stop in and buy, but it was more along the lines of convenience more than anything else. And I would say the biggest thing that we looked at as a company, probably about 5-6 years ago, we made an acquisition in Texas of the WPS stores for some of the individuals that are familiar with those down in Houston, as well as an acquisition of the NPS stores in the Phoenix and Las Vegas markets. And both of those acquisitions, those companies had a high focus on the pool trade professional. And with those acquisitions, it gave us a look behind the curtain as to this is how you really should market to the pool trade professional. This is how the assortment that you should have. This is how you should really or how you can build a business around the pool trade professional and be successful. And so it took us a while to understand those aspects. But, about 4 years ago, we said, this is the area of the business we really want to be in. We have people coming in every day that were looking for referrals. They were dropping business cards, at our store managers saying, hey, if somebody comes in, give them to me. We had that aspect. We knew we were located and had a nice advantage in terms of our footprint. You mentioned it earlier. Hey, we're open on Sundays. There's things that we offer that are benefits to the pool trade professionals, and taking what we learned from those acquisitions, combining them with what we saw from the customer starting to really come into our stores more. We said, we shouldn't be just for the homeowner. We should be for everybody that's working with a pool. And in specific, we should be a go-to for the pool trade professional. And that's when we said we want to target this segment and, be all in on this segment. And that's what we've done.
That's the part that I love. And I joke with John and Zach all the time. I love looking at companies and then seeing companies make a strategic move. And that could be whether it's acquisition or really similar to what you guys have done, which is, this is something that you've always done. And all of a sudden you shift, right? You see the opportunity, you see the benefit of what it is that you could do and having the tools in place and be able to do that. So I always joke with the guys, because I always joke and say, what's that conversation like, right? With the executives, at that point that somebody's in this conference room sitting down kind of going, we've always serviced the homeowner, but now we're going to completely change our business model and kind of focus also on the pool pro and what that transition is. So I always love watching you guys out there, the bigger companies, kind of strategically make those changes. And I kind of tend to geek out on that a little bit. So when did you guys first introduce the Pool Pro program?
When it comes to what we call the Pro Partner program, we've had a version of it for the last number of years. But to be honest with you, it didn't have a lot of structure. I made reference a little bit earlier. We had pool trade professionals walking in, dropping their business cards off. Hey, can you give me some leads? We've had people that were providing craft beer, that were providing money, providing pizza, providing any incentive you could. So sometimes we had the joke where you're like, otherwise the store manager is just going to be sitting at the front going, hey, I'm just handing out a card. Nobody walk in today. I get more money through this. So we had to provide some structure to what we were doing to be able to make sure that we could provide the pool trade professional. When you give somebody a stack of cards, people don't know where those cards go. They're not sure who referenced them. And it made it harder for us to understand what is that benefit. So about just over a year ago, we took our what we called referral program and relaunched it as our Pro Partner program. And in doing that, we put that structure around the referral program. We allowed for the general managers at our stores to have, this is how you take a referral. This is how you accept referrals. This is how you get that referral to the pool trade professional. And here's what we don't accept, right? Because we want to be on an equal playing field. We don't want to have a partnership with one pool trade professional and somebody else come in and try and undercut them because they're going to give them something under the table. And we were very clear with our store teams, that's not something we accept. We're going to be above board for everybody that we deal with and really make sure that structure allows for a winning situation to occur for both Leslie's as well as the pool trade professional.
I can imagine. As you're describing that, I'm picturing my store here a few years ago, and every pool guy just kind of driving by, dropping off donuts and trying to hook me up.
There was always something. Right? We heard a lot of different stories.
Sure.
So
I was going to say,
very interesting.
Right.
It's probably not just donuts, John.
I'm sure so. What are some of the advantages that you guys have when it comes to Leslie's Pro and servicing the pool pros?
Well, I think a couple of them we've touched base already on this podcast, but I'm going to rehash a couple of them. Number one is our footprint. We have over 900 stores across the country. We've got 17 commercial centers that are focused more on industrial areas that pool trade professionals can still utilize, where they have larger inventory, large storage capabilities. We've got now over 50 Leslie's Pro concept stores. So that's another thing that I think is when we talk about what's our investment with the pool trade professional, we started with 16 pro stores through those acquisitions. and we're over 50 now. And with those pro stores, we've identified specific areas of the country that are very high volume with pool trade professionals. And we've rebranded those stores and the assortment within those stores to really match up to what the profile of their customer is. And, it's a shifting of all residential to more, parts, chemicals, et cetera, that the pool trade professional needs. And so that footprint, it gives us a huge advantage because we are down the street. You're out on a job, you need to pick something up. You can zip in at a Leslie's, pretty much on majority of corners, especially in the Sun Belt. So I think that's one of the big things that we have. Another thing that we have is our hours of operations. John, you mentioned on Sundays, Leslie's are open 7 days a week, whether it's Sundays, Saturdays, there's an opportunity to stop in. There's an opportunity to pick items up. You also look at our hours of operation in the morning, in the evening, what works for you as a business owner to when you need to be able to get items, to when you need to be out in the field. And we also work with our pool trade professionals. Case in point, right now, I believe our opening time is 10 a.m. in a lot of the areas of the country because it's during the off season. We've got certain stores, because we have a large number of pool trade professionals, they'll open up at 9. They'll open up at 8:30. They'll open up when individuals need product. And that's what's, I think, really nice about Leslie's. So from a footprint perspective, from an hours of operation, I think those are two big advantages. And then I'd also say our operations team, the store general managers, because they want to be a partner. They want to be a partner with the pool trade professional. They want to partner with your business. They want to help you grow your business, and they want to be the go-to for when you need something. Everybody always wants to have a guy or a girl when they go, hey, I'm in an emergency. I've got a guy. I give them a phone call. I got a girl. I give them a phone call. And from a Leslie's perspective, we've got our store general managers. We also have our outside sales team, in certain markets, that they are those go-to individuals. They're not there just to sell you something. They're not there to say, hey, I've got buckets of tabs, come buy them. They're here to say, how can I help your business? How can I partner with you to help you grow your business? And that's, what the focus is for us in doing that.
And the other thing, John, is I think about it everywhere that I have had a route, and even where I'm at now, like you can't throw a rock without hitting a Leslie's. And it's huge because you could be out doing a repair and it happened plenty of times, 4:30 in the afternoon, distributors are closed, you've got nothing, but you know that you're going to have those stores close by you. So that's huge. I think your guys' footprint is something that's going to help you guys a lot with that standpoint. So let's talk a little bit about the program itself. So do you guys have just one program that you offer, or if it's multiple, and what's the name of the program?
So the name of the program is our Leslie's Pro Partner Program. That's our overarching name for the program, is Leslie's Pro Partner. And we set that name up because we wanted people to identify with Leslie's, right? When you're a partner of Leslie's, you're a Leslie's Pro Partner. And it was something that was, like I said, easily identifiable for the pool trade professional and easily identifiable for the Leslie's team as well, to know, yep, these are the partners. These are the people that we really want to continue to target and do business with. So the program itself, like I mentioned, it started as a referral program. And we said, we got to provide structure to this. There's just kind of a little bit of the Wild West that was going on. We need to provide structure so we can really show a pool trade professional, here's a benefit, not just talk about it, but we could show here's a benefit. And so the program started as that referral program. It started by us saying, we've got pool trade professionals coming in asking for referrals. We've got residential homeowners coming in every day going, you know what? I'm done taking care of my pool. Been doing it for 3 years. I don't want to do it anymore. It's continually green. Thanks for all the help. Who do you recommend? And so it's how do we connect these dots? How do we take this person looking for that and connect it to somebody that can take care of their pool? And so, the program, that was the essence, or, the origin of the program. And we said, let's identify pool trade professionals that really want to partner with Leslie's, that really want to be, in agreement with Leslie's, that we can grow their business, and in turn, we can help them grow their business. And so the program was when a store is able to identify a pool trade professional that wants to be a pro partner, they would have them sign a contract and go through an interview. That contract, there was a spend commitment of about $15,000. In turn, Leslie's would offer, we will send We're going to give you the best pricing we have. And when referrals come into this store, we're going to send those referrals, their information, directly to you. So you can help grow your business and be able to increase the number of pools that you have, which is, obviously a lifeblood for many pool trade professionals out there, right? There's always turnover with which pools you have, which pools you probably want to get rid of, or et cetera. But by being able to increase that aspect, that's really where what we call the win-win scenario kicked in. It was a win for the homeowner because guess what? They got a referral from a pool trade professional that's been vetted, that they know is going to do a great job. It was a win for the pool trade professional because they got the new referral coming to their business to help them grow for them. And it was a win for Leslie's because ideally that pool trade professional was making their purchases through Leslie's. And so there was a nice circle of everybody helping each other. And that was really the focus of what we wanted to accomplish. Since we've launched it, we've actually undertaken some additional benefits because we had such a large pickup with the pro partners that we really identified and said, these are all people that really, they want to be partners with Leslie's. So what more can we do? And so we've really divulged into the referrals. We've gone into the quantity limits on certain SKUs. We've gone into pricing. We've gone into warranty, all of which are designed to help the pro partner build their business and be able to have Leslie's be a partner in doing so.
So if I were to go in there, can I sign up for the program just to buy chemicals? Let's say I don't want to take on any more pools, or I prefer just to go to my local Leslie's. Can I do that?
Absolutely. You can. Like I said, the program started as a referral program, and it's evolved since then to have additional benefits. And in certain instances, we've got pool trade professionals that are going, you know what, I've got enough pools. I'm good. I want to keep partnering with you. I want to get the best pricing, the best warranty that you can offer. So I don't need any more pools, but can I be a pro partner? And absolutely. We have that option available, and it's something that we offer to all customers that have interest. If you want to be able to receive referrals, we have one contract to sign. If you don't, you do not have to, but you can still get all the other benefits.
The SPPA is dedicated to the niche general liability insurance needs of pool and spa professionals. As industry leaders, we'll fight for you, protect you, and be there for you. We provide extraordinary service before and after the membership and insurance is in effect. Insured members of the program get the best customer support and have peace of mind that their alliance is their voice and always fighting for their program and insurance needs. We proudly insure thousands of pool and spa professionals across the United States. With over 30 years encompassing the pool and spa industry, we know the needs of pool and spa professionals. Through the SPPA program, there are 3 tailored and customized general liability insurance options to pick from. For more information on our programs and insurance options, visit our site at www.thesppa.com. The sound of you continually pitching pool care poles into the trash. The sound of you using an Ultimate Pool Tools carbon fiber pool care pole for years to come. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at ultimatepooltools. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add recurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. BlueRay XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, BlueRay XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. BlueRay XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BlueRayXL.com.
BlueRay all day.
Welcome back, everybody. We're talking to Chad from Leslie. We're talking about the Leslie Pro program, and we continue our conversation. Chad, let me ask you, can I just walk into any Leslie's to buy product, or do I need to buy that product online through like a pro platform and then pick it up there?
No, you can walk into any of our Leslie's locations, any of the 900 plus stores that I mentioned, any of the commercial centers that we have, or any of the Leslie's Pro locations. And you'll be eligible if you're an enrolled pro partner, or if you're a pool trade professional that has been signed up at Leslie's, you're going to be eligible for the pro partner price or the Leslie's pool trade professional price. We also have our Leslie's Pro website, and your pricing is going to be the same on the website as it will be as you walk into a store. So we like to provide as many options as possible to the pool trade professional, so that way they can shop in the way that they want to shop.
So this kind of goes into what I was saying at my intro. Let me ask you probably one of the most important questions when it comes down to a pool pro and whether they choose to go with a provider for their products is, especially now that we're living in crazy times with all these price increases from the manufacturers and just inflation and yada. What's the pro partner pricing like, and what pricing benefits are there to the program that you guys have that might vary from other distributors that are out there?
Yes, I'll take a quick step back. You mentioned, when did Leslie's, really get into the pool trade business? And one of the aspects that we did when, kind of going off of what I said previously, one of the big things we first implemented was pool trade pricing. It's hard to sell to a pool trade professional if you don't have pricing that is reflective of what the industry is at. They can look at the residential price and go, that's not for me. What's my price? And for a long time, we never really had that pricing set up. It was always kind of one-off. And so we put together a full price deck for our pool trade professionals. And we built it for each area of the country, so that way we could be competitive. And so whenever a pool trade professional walks into a retail store now, they can be enrolled. And we do a validation because we just don't want everybody coming in going, oh yeah, I've got Chad's Pool Service. Here, give me my best price. We will ask them to provide a business card. If they can validate it at the register, we'll give them the discount right there. But once they've got that business card, they'll send it into our home office where we'll do a little bit more validation. And typically within 24 hours, we'll get them set up on our pool trade pricing. And so that's where we have, for all of our items, the pool trade pricing is locked in for them. And whether they go to a store, online, et cetera, they'll be able to get that pricing. Now, with the next evolution to that was with our Pro Partner program. And you talked about the industry and where we are right now, and it's unprecedented in terms of, which I always feel like a great time to jump into the wholesale side of it. Tablets up and down, Cal-Hypo up and down, liquid, all these things seem to be in flux. And just when you think you're out of it, there's another fire that hits somewhere else. So what we did, though, with our Pro Partners is we said, along those same lines, these are customers that have really wanted to partner with us. So how can we add more benefits to them? And what we did was, for tablets and for Cal-Hypo, we've provided our best pricing, even better than what our regular pool trade pricing is, for our pro partners. And so when people walk in, depending upon where they are in the country, they're going to see a significant discount off of retail for their pool trade professional pricing. And then when they look at their pro pricing, they're going to see another even greater discount off of that. Depending upon where they are, it could range anywhere from 10 to 15 to 20% off of the regular pool trade pricing. So we've really tried to set up for those items that have been in short supply to allow for our pro partners to get the best pricing that we can offer. So that way we know that when it comes to where we're trying to target and manage, it's the people that have partnered with us. And that's really what we tried to do.
That's brilliant, right? I mean, as a retailer or a wholesaler, that's what you want to do, especially when you're jumping into a game kind of late as far as the distribution side or the wholesale side of it. In my past life, where we worked, there used to be New Release Tuesday, and DVDs and CDs that got released on Tuesday, everybody would come back in the day, right? When people used to go buy DVDs.
I remember that.
And we sold those DVDs at cost or below cost, because people that were movie buffs or people that like, purchasing CDs, and they're 10, 12 bucks, $9 or whatever it was, or 20 bucks for the DVD. Where are they going to go? They're going to go into that store, my store, and they're going to buy that. And then when they look around them, they have everything else they need around their house. So, oh, hey, I get a great deal on a TV, or I'll get a great deal on this, or I'll get a great deal on that. And I understand the logic behind that, especially now, because that's what people are stressed out about trying to get a hold of, those basic mandatory chemicals in order to keep their businesses afloat so that they can survive through this pandemic. And I just think it's brilliant. I hope you guys continue to do it, and I hope you guys continue to undercut the other guys so that they lower their prices too. And then you undercut them, and then they lower their prices, and everybody keeps undercutting. That's the goal.
There you go. It's a brilliant plan.
Right.
I'll add one more thing to it. Obviously, with the pricing, that was one area of focus. But the other area that we had in terms of focus was with quantity limits. We've seen limits being placed by so many, by Leslie's, by our competitors for those items because of the product being in short supply. And we've made the decision, especially with our tablets, that for pro partners, they're going to have the ability to purchase more poundage than anybody else that shops at a Leslie's. So when somebody comes in and they're a regular pool trade professional, they can buy 3 buckets a day. If you're a pro partner, you can buy up to 5 buckets a day. From a Leslie's perspective, one of our goals is to try and maintain product. We've seen a lot of people have spot outages where there's a couple of weeks, there's no product. Hey, it comes in, there's a rush, there's a flood. We're doing our best across our entire footprint to try and support as many pool trade professionals as we can and trying to get product to all of those locations. So that way, when the season's going on, and even now out of season, it certainly feels like the season really never ended. I'll tell you that. It's just going, and that, we're trying to support and have the product available, because it's definitely causes a lot of concern for professionals when you don't know where you can get the products that you need, that are the lifeblood for you, to do, keep your business afloat, keep it going. You're trying to search for alternatives, but this is how we can try and really help and, again, partner with those pool trade professionals, those pro partners, to have a successful season and be ready for the season.
That was going to be my next question, but here's one thing to think about, John, and we're definitely in unprecedented times with regards to shortage of products, shortage of chemicals, and all that. You guys come in and you're kind of looking at it going, man, we've only been in this for 4 years, and the last 2 have been a shit show, right? I mean, the industry has just been completely crazy. But if you think about it, that's an underlying benefit for you guys at Leslie's, because it has caused a lot of pool pros to go look anywhere for chemicals.
For sure.
And so where before you might have had the pool pro going, well, I don't want to go to Leslie's because they focus more on the homeowner. Now they're going, hey, they have this program, they're offering it. We can't find the product, so let's go to Leslie's. And that's kind of giving you guys a great bridge, I believe, to be able to connect better with the pool pro and let them know, hey, we shifted our business. Now we do have this great program for you guys. So I think it's been a great little thing for you guys and the timing has probably been a great thing.
No, it's survival of the fittest right now. And this is a time to strike. And I think Leslie's sees the opportunity and they're going for it. And just like, we've talked about with the pool pros out there, we can look at this and say, hey, look, oh my God, it's stressful times. But I'm looking at it as like, wow, this is the time to shine. You want to grow your business and you want to stand out from the competition. If the one who's most prepared, right? The one who's most stocked, the one who's the most available are going to be able to capitalize on all these clients that are calling, because we get phone calls. My pool guy isn't showing up. My pool's turning green. They say they can't get chemicals. Well, if you can supply and if you can fulfill those needs, those easy things, then it's a win. And you're now you've opened up yourself to, a bigger portion of that pie where you can capitalize on that and create new clientele and gain that business and hopefully retain them for the future. We keep saying unprecedented times. And we've said this for the last 2 years. At what point does it become the norm? Because we've been doing this for like 2 years now. So it's almost, to me, it's just like, this is just normal shit. Where I get it for maybe a few months, 6 months, a year, now a year and a half. Now we're going over 2 years. So where it's like, guys, girls out there, look, this is how you need to figure. You have to operate your business like these are the times. And then whenever we do see the silver lining or the rain stops, you are going to be built and strong and ready for anything at that point, and everything's just going to be very simple for you to accomplish. Whereas of now, we might be struggling a little bit, but it's just building character, and it's just building us into a better business owner so that we're more prepared to weather any storm that gets thrown our way. But again, I think this is just a norm now. I'm no longer stressing about it.
Into it. They've driven past them plenty of times. And because of the situation, they've stopped in. And, for us, the key area that we're focusing on is how do we continue to build that relationship? Because when they can understand those benefits of you had to drive by 2 Leslie's to get to that other area to buy your product. You had to go wait in a line for how long to get your product. Whereas there was a Leslie's down the street. The general manager wants to be your friend, wants to take care of you. Give him a call before you get there. He'll have the product set aside for you. So you walk in, you walk out. Those are the opportunities that, we're hopefully demonstrating over these last 2 years. And as John mentioned, if that's the norm going forward. We want to continue to provide that benefit so that way people can see it. And once, I believe pool trade professionals get to experience that, it really says, hey, there's another option. There's competition now in the marketplace. There's an ability for me to go to another location, get supported in the way I want to be supported, get back in my route, save time or save money, which at the end of the day are the 2 most critical things to be able to have a better, quality of life or make more money as a business. So if we can help with either one of those, then that's a great thing for us.
Awesome. So let's talk about the referral program and how that works.
Absolutely. So we've talked a lot about, kind of this was the foundation for the Pro Partner program. But the way we have it set up right now is that if a homeowner walks into a Leslie's store and says, you know what, I'm done taking care of it. In the past, I'm talking, 10 years ago, our store would have said, nope, let me bring your water back in. Let me try and help you. Let me try and do this. Let me try and do that. Now our general managers go, oh, I've got a Pro Partner. And that's somebody that they look at that Pro Partner as 100 residential customers. They don't look at them as just one person anymore. They go, I got 100 customers with that Pro Partner. So I'm taking care of them, right? They're my number one priority. So when somebody asks that, they will take their information. They'll say, well, I've got a great person to, provide you a referral to. They'll get their name, phone, email address. We have it set up so that way right on their computer, they'll type it in, click submit. That referral will come directly into our home office. We'll look up, we know exactly which store it came from. And we'll identify the Pro Partner, and we'll turn that right around and get that sent right to that individual Pro Partner. So then the Pro Partner is going to have a referral from Chad Christensen looking for weekly service. Here's the phone number. When you talk about a warm lead, it doesn't get any warmer. It doesn't get any hotter than what that lead is. They went into a pool store because they have a pool. They don't want to take care of their pool. They're looking for somebody. That's the process of that lead, that we take it, we get it sent over, and you know that it's coming to you directly. And again, that structure that I talked about, rather than having, well, I hand them a business card. We don't know if they're going to reach out. We don't know what else they're going to do, what they Google, what they don't Google. But when we get that information because they came into the store, we're providing that pool trade professional, that Pro Partner, with a direct lead that they can reach out to and be able to take advantage of.
Now, what brands do you guys carry at the Leslie's that the pool guys are going to be familiar with?
From a Leslie's perspective, we carry all of the top brands, from Hayward, Pentair, Jandy. And for us, though, too, one of our biggest focus has been our jacuzzi line. For people that aren't familiar, our jacuzzi line, if you saw it from a number of years ago, we've made modifications to it. Our jacuzzi pump is manufactured by Hayward. Our filter is manufactured by Waterway. Heater manufactured by Raypack. So we've partnered with some of the best manufacturers in the industry to really enhance our jacuzzi brand and portfolio and be able to have something that pool trade professionals can go, wow, this is really good equipment. This is good equipment. It's got a great warranty, and it's something that my customers would be very interested in.
So, good segue. You're talking about warranties. Are there any extended warranties to the products that they purchase?
So as it relates to our jacuzzi items, we do. Right now, all of them have a manufacturer warranty, typically 1 to 2 years. But as being a Pro Partner, those warranties for our pumps are extended out to 4 years and 5 years. For our filters, 3 years. For our heaters, 5 years. So we've really take that extended warranty and say, if you're a Pro Partner and you're selling jacuzzi, you can walk into a homeowner and you can talk to them about a 4-year warranty, a 5-year warranty, something that we know that they're going to go, Well, that sounds very enticing. That sounds good. And that's something that we want to be able to have.
That's a 5-year warranty on a heater?
Oh, shit.
On a heater. Yep.
That's freaking insane.
So
it's exciting from that perspective. And we did that. We wanted to make it enticing for the pool trade professional. Everybody gets set with certain products that they like. You got to have something that says, well, hey, if you're going to, and again, these times people have been trying anything, trying to get their hands on different products. But this is something that helps say, how can I sell this product to a homeowner when maybe it's not the one I'm most familiar with? Maybe it's not the one I've used the most. Here's something that can help push that.
that's pretty badass. I didn't know that.
And I'm a big advocate of the extended warranties from a new pool guy standpoint because they're trying to go in to sell a product. And one of the advantages that they could have, especially when they partner with somebody, is an extended warranty. So a 5-year on a heater and 4 years on pumps. Is that what you said?
4 years, correct.
John, that's insane.
No, it's bad. And look, and it's crazy. One of my good friends is your best service tech in your company. Maybe I'm biased, but he's pretty badass. And he talks nothing but great things about the new jacuzzi
terrific.
line. Now, look, I personally,
Yeah, he talks about it all the
He
time.
does talk about it all the time. So I didn't know about that 5 and 4 year warranty, which is pretty neat.
Can you talk about the rebate program that you guys have available for the Pool Pro? I saw that as one of them.
We do have a rebate program, and a lot of companies out there have a rebate program, but we do as well. All of our pool trade professionals are eligible to participate in our rebate program. For us, it's a fiscal year program. So it runs, September or October 1st to September 30th, because that's our fiscal year. And it's available in terms of the total spend. So at the end of the year, we'll look at all of the purchases that customers have. And if you surpass $35,000, there's a 3% rebate that comes back to you. Surpass $50,000, it's 3.25% rebate. And if you're over $100,000, it's a 3.5% rebate. So again, pro partners, we talked earlier about the $15,000 is kind of a minimum. And again, we set that number because, for people that really want to partner with us, that's not going to be an issue to surpass, right? When you look at chemicals, you look at sanitizers, you look at equipment. But our rebate program is another incentive for the individuals that really partner with Leslie's, that you can get dollars back and dollars directly back to your business. And we just recently went through, since at the end of September, we finished our fiscal year 21. In October, these rebates were calculated. End of November, they were sent out. So we had a lot of individuals, they were looking at these rebates for the holiday season going, all right, I'm doing parties with my staff. I want to be able to provide incentives to people. There's a lot of different things that people can use those dollars for. And, we're glad that we're able to offer it because it really is a nice perk for all of our pool trade professionals.
That, again, I learned something new there because the pushback I've had, and maybe this is just because the program was new when we were talking about, not you specifically, but with my particular store, the pushback was, hey, I have programs with manufacturers where I do business with, and I receive 3, 4, 5% back on my purchases at the end of the year, plus other perks, where I know that the sales that are done through Leslie's isn't tied directly, or that those invoices don't get pushed to the manufacturers unless that's changed. So, getting 5% back on if we're doing $100,000 worth of product, that's a big chunk of change. So
that's a huge hit to that profit, man.
Or 3%, it all depends. And
you're increasing your
some
profit,
people are at 3%, some people are 2% based off of what tier program they're in with that particular manufacturer. But that's another obstacle that I think that you guys just overcame, because it makes me want to explore it more now, right? Because at the end of the day, look, I need to get product for my customers, and I need to have availability, and I need somebody that I can depend on, which is very important to me. But also, most importantly, is I need to be able to make money. And if I'm buying product that's from you guys that's more expensive, or it's costing me more at the end of the year, and I still have the option of buying it somewhere else for cheaper, then why would somebody go somewhere else or make a change unless there's something drastic that happened? People don't necessarily want to make that change. But one of the biggest factors that I've gotten from myself and from other people is, hey, well, I just don't get my PIP rewards, or I don't get my Jandy rewards, or I don't get my Hayward rewards, or whatever program they're in. But now that you have, that's pretty badass. I'd like to get all that stuff written down, or if we can get that information so we can post it, or at least that I can have that information too, so that I can burn it in my brain, because I talk to 5, 10, 15 guys every single day. And when we talk about products, I'd like to, let them know their options. So that's pretty badass.
Absolutely. We can get that put down and sent over to you. And I would say too, stay tuned, right? We had this rebate program. This is really our second year of this program. And like everything that we saw with the pro partners, we've continued to evolve and change and add benefits. So stay tuned. This is something that as we move forward, we might have to do another podcast. We'll talk about some other things that we do with it, but stay tuned.
That's awesome. You guys have really put some thought into this program. What additional benefits are there for those that sign up with the Leslie Pro program?
So a couple of the other benefits we haven't really talked about. Number one, we have partnered with a handful of other vendors to provide incentives for items that we believe are very valuable to the pool trade professional. Number one is with SPPA, so an insurance. And that is one thing that when we sign up a customer as a pro partner and they want referrals, we will make sure that we have a copy of their insurance. If they do not have insurance, we do not enroll them to give them referrals. And that's something that we say as far as our due diligence into the homeowner, that when we're giving you a referral, there's somebody they're insured, they're good to go. So if people have questions about insurance, or maybe they don't have it, we've partnered with SPPA so they can get 10% off their sign up, off their enrollment, which is a great advantage for them. And SPPA has been a great partner for us. So we've really set those expectations to provide additional benefits to the pro partners. And then when you think about it just from a Leslie's perspective, we talked about the number of days of the week that we're open all 7 days. We've got the footprint. We've got the ability to do free water test and cleaner repair. And the reason why I bring those things up is because sometimes when a Leslie's is down on the corner and you pick up two cleaners that need to get fixed, but you're going, I've got to go over here and I've got 4 more other appointments I need to get to. You can stop by a Leslie's, drop them off, let Leslie's do some of the work for you, and then go right back into your route. And I think sometimes this was viewed as competition, but what we've seen is more and more pool trade professionals using this to their advantage, getting stuff done while they're out because it can save them time or it can save them money. And those are two of the things that I think from a Leslie's perspective, we really value. And once we've really built that relationship at the store level, and we've got pool trade guys, pool trade gals that they're calling in, they're going, hey, I'm dropping this off, I'm picking this up. And the store manager, the general manager at the store, they're giving them first-class white glove service. They'll say, hey, I've got this set aside for you. Walk in. If there's 4 or 5 residential customers, hey, 1 second, let me get them checked out because they've already got the product there. They're already ready to go. And that's the type of relationship that we really want to establish at each of our stores with the pool trade professional. So they know they've got their person to go to, right? They've got them that's going to take care of them, that cares about their business, that wants to help them grow their business. And that's one of the biggest things that we look at.
Another great opportunity that I see, and that is that our industry is an industry, personal relationships. Everything that we do in our industry is all about somebody that we know or somebody that we connected with, or that personal feeling of being able to pick up the phone and call John. Hey, John, I'm having a problem with this. I know who I can call. And what you're providing with your store, your general managers, your assistant managers, whatever it is, you're creating that one-on-one relationship a little bit different to me than, 3 or 4 guys at a counter, where it's a little bit more of a transaction process, where I see pool guys being able to go into these stores and really kind of creating a relationship with those general managers or their store managers, and that itself being an advantage to working with you guys. So I think that's huge. And look,
and I'll be witness, it's not all talk, because I've seen the evolution and how it's changed at my local store, to where years ago it was a pain in the ass to go there and try to figure something out. But as things changed, they do treat you great, and they know you by name. They have a smile on their face when you walk in. They don't treat you like you're burdening them. And they do go out of their way and they offer anything they possibly can to help you. Like, hey, do you need me to come in? I know we opened at this time. My store manager, I know we opened at this time, John, but if you need chems a little bit earlier, just let me know and I'll come in early and I'll have them in the back ready for you, da-da-da-da. And they were hungry and they were eager and they were genuine about it. So I've definitely seen that change, and I hope it continues. And I think you guys are definitely on the right path when it comes down to that, because it is about relationships.
That's a big undertaking, John. If you think about it, you've been in the retail industry, you have 900 stores, and you have to change the mindset of how you've done business in the past. And now you're completely changing that mindset. It's easy when it's 2, 3 stores, right? You kind of get a couple of phone calls, blah, 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 the change happens. As you started to get into bigger companies and have to make that change, that becomes a lot more difficult. And the fact that you're seeing the change is great. That's amazing.
That's tremendous feedback. And it's great to hear that happening in the field, I should say. That's what we stress that, we push that, and to see that change occurring. At the end of the day, it helps the pool trade professional, right? Like for you, John, it helps you because it allows you to be able to get back in the field faster, have somebody to trust, and help either improve your business or your relationship.
And you know what it does too? And I don't mean to keep venturing off, but here's a little tidbit or maybe a little piece of advice, especially for you and your company and what you're trying to accomplish. I remember when I first started and going into distribution, it was intimidating and you felt very out of place and you felt stupid and you felt like you didn't know the answers, you didn't have the questions, and it was very intimidating. If you guys can find a way to harness or be able to attract the really new pool guys or pool girls and then bring them into your environment where it's a lot warmer, more accepting, more friendly, more willing, right? It's not so much like the guys at the counter. And I'm not going to name a specific distributor because I think all of them have those types of guys at the counter where they just don't give a shit. And if you don't know the answer, if you don't know what you want, they're not really willing to help you. And you feel like an idiot. You really do. And I remember those days where I was like, God dang. And it helped me strive to be better at what I did and get more knowledge and understanding. So when I walked there, I didn't feel that way. For new folks, if they're able to go into an environment where people are there and willing to help them and accept them for being new and they're okay with it, I think you guys can really capitalize on that also.
For me, John, and I've always said it, I went into distribution, and I'll say the name. I did go into SCP, and that's a store, but Louis Padilla was the one guy that took me under his wing. And I had zero experience. It was very intimidating. I'm having to ask very stupid questions because I don't know how to change the frickin' wings on a Navigator, which of course are very easy to just kind of clip, but I don't know. But he took that personal interest, and that's what I'm talking about. You have the opportunity to create those relationships where you're going to be helping these people. And then that in turn creates that loyalty, because for many years I was loyal to them just because of everything that Louis did. And Louis got to the point, and I've said this before, where he would look at it and go, dude, if you can't do this repair, you need to get out of the pool industry. Or he would look at me and go, dude, this is way over your head. Don't even attempt. Go find somebody. But that to me as a new pool guy was huge, because I felt like I have somebody in my corner that was going to be able to guide me in the right way. And when I talk about relationships, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You guys have the ability to create these relationships with these pool pros that some of the other places just don't have, or their business philosophy has changed a little bit and they don't kind of tend to do that anymore. So I think you guys are sitting in a great spot.
I was going to add one more thing to that, because it was both great points in terms of that focus and that target. And when we look at the program, roughly about a year in now, we've got a few thousand contracts that have been signed as part of this Pro Partner program. And so we've seen great uptick. We've seen great engagement, great buy-in, but we treat every customer that we have with that, let's build the relationship first. Just like you guys were talking about, that's where we believe we can get to sustain long-term benefits. It's easy to come in, and if we just said, hey, here's the cheapest price, come buy it from us, and we have some, right? And then we're out of the game later. We're not out of this, we're not in this for this year or for next year. We're going to be in this for the long term. And we want to build those relationships that are going to sustain and that are going to be able to prosper as we move forward, both for the pool trade professional and for Leslie's.
So next question, what is the best way for them to get a hold of someone with the Pool Pro program?
So the best way for somebody, if you're interested in becoming a pro partner, if you want to become part of this program, go into your local Leslie's. Go into your local Leslie's, talk to the general manager. The general manager has all of the items we talked about, the contract. They're going to sit down and talk with you, make sure that this is the right, as part of this program, it's not just how many people can we sign up. It's about, do we have the right people that want to partner with Leslie's and that we can partner with them? And so they'll go through that process with you, and we'll be able to get you, if it's something that is going to be beneficial for both parties, we're going to get you enrolled, and we're going to get you with our best pricing, getting referrals if you want those, and getting rolling. What I would say is, if you have any interest, stop by your local Leslie's store, talk to the general manager. They'll be able to walk you through the process and get you enrolled.
That's great. You can also reach out to me. You can reach out to John. We'll always provide you the information. We'll help you connect with Chad and his team out there. Guys, let's do this. Let's take our final word from our sponsors. When we come back, John, I want to get your final thoughts.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add recurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. BlueRay XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, BlueRay XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. BlueRay XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BlueRayXL.com.
BlueRay all day.
Welcome back, everybody. We continue our conversation with Chad with the Leslie Pro program. John, let me get your final thoughts.
I kind of do what I always do, and I kind of speak my thoughts throughout the podcast, but I'm going to try to tie this up into a nice little bow here. And hopefully this message kind of gets through to anybody out there that's a little hesitant about Leslie's maybe stepping into the program. I've heard over the years, and I'm just being blunt and honest, that, Leslie's, they're only for retail and they weren't thinking of the pool pros, and I'm not going to work with them, or I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to do that. And then on the flip token, I hear the same thing where, oh my God, these companies, they're monopolizing everything and we don't have any options. We don't have any choices. And all these companies are buying up other companies and they're going to monopolize the business. And I'm going to be force fed to buy from them only and X amount. Well, I look at it like, and I've said it before, Leslie's coming into this game, or being more vocal about it. At least they've been in it for a while now, but being more vocal and actively approaching and trying to win us over, I think is probably one of the best things for the industry. And to be able to have another big player, not a small player, but a big player in our realm, giving us more options so that we can provide better for our clients, is a win-win for everybody. Variety is a spice of life. And we want option. I want to be able to go to a Leslie's, and I want that location that's closer to me, because there is one that's closer to me than my distributor. I'm very excited to see how they evolve and how they grow and how they build this portion of it, because I think this is just the tip of the iceberg, and not from any insider information, just from what I've heard and what I've seen and the plans that you guys have for the future, that this is only going to get better for us. And the sooner we take a part of it and the sooner we get involved in it, I think we're going to benefit more. So my suggestion is to everybody out there that's listening, don't listen to anything what anybody else has said and just try it out yourself and figure it out and see if it's the right thing for you. Leslie's is a big corporation, right? And every store and every employee represents that company, and a person's perception of that company depends on that store or that employee that they interact with. So go to your store, meet your general manager, whoever's there, talk to them, build that relationship, and then see where it goes. You might be surprised. You might be pleasantly surprised, or it might not work out, but at least you'll make that contact. And down the road, if things go your way or whatever you're looking for, they're able to provide, then at least you'll have that contact and you'll be able to better your business. Don't sell yourself short and close doors that you haven't even tried to open yet. So Chad, I want to thank you very much for coming on and doing this podcast with us. I learned a lot. So I take this as a huge plus that I get to walk away with some more information so that I'm able to make better decisions myself. And I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass that I didn't know this stuff, because if I did know this, I would have probably done a little more as far as build that relationship with Leslie. So you've definitely got my ear and you've got me intrigued. And I look forward to having a conversation with, I believe, my new store manager. I'm going to make it a point that this month I'm going to go over there and introduce myself and talk to them and kind of see where this conversation goes with them. So thanks again for your time. I really appreciate it. I know you're very busy. And I know you said that down the road that maybe we can do another podcast. I'd be excited to have you on if you guys have some more information, or if we just want to recap what we talked about and see where you guys have gone from this point and to the future. So thank you.
Here's what I'm going to do, John. I'm actually, after the podcast, I'm going to go up. I'm going to go get a haircut. And then guess what's next to the haircut place? Leslie's. So I'm going to go over there because John's going to be moving out to Texas. And John and I are kind of deciding, do we go service 1,000 pools? Do we go service 5,000 pools, John? Do we build pools? Yep. What do we do with the industry next? So you know what? I think I'm going to go walk into the Leslie's over there and kind of shake some hands. And you know what? I'll take some pictures and share them with you guys out there. So definitely. I think you guys have a great program. I think it's very clear that you guys are spending a lot of time putting this program together to really help the pool pro, and just anything from the pricing and the extra special pricing for the once they sign up for that pro program. The warranties to me are huge. The ability to have that personal relationship with those stores and those people that can help them in the business standpoint is huge. So Chad, I want to thank you for coming onto the podcast. You have our platform. Like John said, if there's anything else that you guys ever want to talk about, the program changes, reach out. We'd love to kind of have you on. Our goal is to help the message get out to all the pool pros about our industry.
Well, thank you very much for having me be on. It was a lot of fun. I look forward to taking part more in the future. And John, I look forward to getting out there this summer and becoming a netter. Somebody that's respectable netter from that perspective.
I'll put you to work. Don't worry. I'll put you to work.
So I take it you don't want to learn to play Marco Polo? Is that what
I just assumed if you're the self-proclaimed Marco Polo champ, I'm just going to give it to you. I'm just going to go ahead and say, that's good. I don't know how it's going to help me with the rest of the pool guys if I go, I was second in Marco Polo to Edgar.
Right.
But I feel like the netter might have a little bit more cachet,
right?
But
or that
either
you
way,
didn't want to go, or that you didn't want to go with Zach and become famous like the famous Zach the pool boy.
Right,
It was just a
that's
fast
true.
netter. So that's I want to be like John when I grow up too. So
look, this is the second time now where you're my title that was given to me has gotten me into trouble.
It's starting
now.
to come up, my friend.
It is starting to come up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it has. I've been called out by some friends of ours who do another podcast that want to challenge me to the fastest netter in the West, apparently. Yeah, net off. So, Edgar, you're getting
John,
me in trouble.
My money's on you, and I got your
right?
back 24/7. So we're all good. So we gave you the title for a reason, so we're good. There's no fears there. So anyways, all right, guys, hope everybody has a great one. And John, we'll see you Wednesday on the Instagram Live. Chad, thanks again so much.
Thanks again.
We'll catch you guys next
all right,
week.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Thanks for listening to the Pool Nation podcast, a member of the Pool Nation family. You can listen to us live every Friday here at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at Pool Nation or poolnationpodcast.com, on Facebook, or on Instagram at pool.nation. And to find more info about Pool Invoice, the billing software built specifically for the pool industry, go to poolinvoice.com. Before you go, this is what the pool industry has been waiting for. Poolmanuniversity.com. It's the first platform dedicated to learning the swimming pool service and repair industry. A pool service community where you can connect and find videos on business, service, water chemistry, and repairs. See you there at Poolmanuniversity.com.
Pool Nation, all rights reserved. No part of this podcast may be reproduced in a verbal or nonverbal way. May not be distributed. It may not be distributed in any social media platforms or transmitted in any other forms or any other means, including recording or other electronic or mechanical methods without the prior written permission of Pool Nation.